Still some 300,000 Libyan displaced, internally displaced in their own country since 2001. Many have been able to return home since then, but there's been a new wave of displacement since the conflict of April, with 128,000 persons displaced, triggering the international community to provide a humanitarian response to, as we call them, IDPs. Some 4,500 are still in detention. Despite announcement, the detention regime has not changed at all. And essentially, those in detention centers are those who are transiting through Libya and have been intercepted, rescued at sea or at land. There are officially, yes, some 18 or 20 detention centers to which we have access, not on a regular basis, but we may be given access on an irregular basis. And there were many more. Many have been closed, and many more are unofficial detention centers run by smugglers and traffickers that we don't know about. The first alternative to detention has been the the evacuation transit mechanism, or the emergency transit mechanism, that has been set up since end of 2017, indeed with the help, with the financial support of the EU, but also of other donors. Since then, since the beginning of the ETM, we've been able to release from detention center 1,689 persons.
And according to our displacement tracking mechanism, there are over 650 and maybe as many as 1 million migrants in Libya, currently from 40 countries, and the top 3 would be Niger, Egypt, and Chad. Among those in the centers, we have managed over the since 2017 under our voluntary humanitarian evacuation to assist more than 44,000 vulnerable migrants to safely return to their homes. As has been said, immigration detention centers conditions in Libya continue to be a feature of inhumane conditions and widespread human rights violations. This includes documented cases of sexual abuse, extortion for release, trafficking of adults and children, and forced disappearances. These abuses take place with impunity.
Libya remains the most extreme example of how containment-based politics not only obstruct the right to seek asylum, but even turn the EU complicit to the extreme abuses of migrants and refugees that are happening there. The actions that we recommend need to be taken is an immediate scale-up of the UN's intervention in Libya to provide protection and assistance to vulnerable groups within the country. In order for the scale-up to function for refugees and asylum seekers, UNHCR and their partners need to have more presence and to do more seriously work to provide protection, immediate and temporary options in Libya, which currently don't exist. A meaningful activity of UNHCR is only possible when European and other states offer relocation to all eligible migrants and refugees.
Whatever views we may hold on the EU's cooperation with the Libyan Coast Guard, I've heard a lot of agreement this morning that in view of these policies and the escalating violence in Libya, the EU and in particular its member states has an urgent responsibility to scale up massively funding and diplomatic efforts to both address the conditions that migrants find themselves in inside Libya and to speed up and increase safe and legal routes to access protection in Europe safely. We see a need to better target EU funding to ensure that it's available in the areas of greatest need and also to promote systemic change rather than just treating symptoms.